All right, so here we are back in the same spot that we were for the start of the hamstring video. Got our foam roller, we got our ball. Now we're getting into the muscles of the glute and the hip. So with pants on, a little tough to see, but I don't want to blind you by taking them off. So what I'm going to try and do is just bear with me and follow the anatomy as I go through it. Now the muscles in the glute, that's where a lot of men specifically harbor tension there. So you'll notice on the outer portions of your butt cheeks is where you'll feel a lot of tension. The glutes are painful, plain and simple. If you're not feeling tension in them, then that means you're probably a quad dominant person, okay? But what we're gonna do is you're gonna take your roller and you're gonna start on this sort of an angle, right? And I want you to just have 2 points of contact or 3 points of contact, and you're gonna keep this leg kind of relaxed. And you're just gonna go up and back, and I call this portion just probing, which is weird considering the position. But you're just probing, you're looking for a knot, you're looking for that speed bump, and you're probing around the area and you're looking to see where you could find a trigger point. If you're getting enough relief or enough of a challenge or pain from the foam roller, don't worry, because the ball will be too much for you right now. But you're going all the way up to the top of the hip crest or the top of the hip in the back right now. And you kind of get into this position, flow back and forth. And this is more like if you were to just bring a steamroller in, you're just trying to flatten out that area and look for areas of tension, okay? Switch to the other side. This one will probably feel great, again, the end of your shift. Once you've been on your feet all day and carrying stuff, I do this one routinely, especially after a long double. But now, we are going to go and do the trigger point. So with your ball, what you're looking for is those speed bumps again. So I'm gonna lift my hips up and I'm gonna start on my elbow. Now you can start on your hand, and it all depends on the angle. Some people are worse from the elbow. But we are looking around. You can ride anywhere that's muscle is fair game, as for all the foam rolling. But you're in some sensitive areas here. So you're near your tailbone, you're obviously near your butt, and if you get too high up into your hips, that's not always, really pleasant either. So stay off the bone whenever you can and try and keep it limited to just the muscle. So I know that I'm having a bad trigger point right there, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let that leg relax. And I'm gonna sit into this knot here. Now, naturally, your body is going to guard against a lot of these things. So you're going to be in this tension position. You'll notice that the longer you sit there and just breathe, how much more reserved and how uptight you're being. So what I would challenge you to do is relax onto it, breathe. And what you're going to do is fold in and out, in and out. Now, as I do this, as always, I'm going to have you kind of move around on the ball a little bit. Get some movement in there. Ride the hip. Around. And then what you're going to do is floss the leg up, down, and around. Up, down, around. Breathe. Back, forth. Sweating is normal. It's not just me. So as you start to hit these trigger points, you'll probably start to break a sweat. You're releasing a lot of those toxins and things like that that have been harbored in these trigger points and tension points. As I mentioned in the beginning, the more that you start to break these down, they've been inhibiting blood flow and oxygen delivery. So on top of being incredibly painful when you do them, you'll feel so much lighter on your feet and so much more pain-free once you actually start to break them down. Painful in the moment, will feel better on the other side, okay? So you're just gonna kind of roll back and forth on that. If you find one, you could get all the way back towards your tailbone. Breathe. Lift that leg up and down. Up and down. Woo! Woo! Hurts. Okay, so take what you can handle, stay there as long as you need to. Do it to both sides. We already talked about as you would transition. If you wanted to, depending on how you blend, I would typically go from as I'm rolling the hamstring, get into my glute, and then I would kind of roll over into that psoas high groin area up in there. But really the flow of it is up to you. The more you do it, the less it'll hurt. Yeah.